guys, and welcome to another Wargame Red Dragon commentary video with me, Bubblebox, and today we've actually on a 6v6 match on the map back to Inchon, although it did actually start as a 7v5 because one of the players from pack suddenly swapped over to our side and then the game just started, although one player, Inchon, actually has already left at the startup, so it is now a 6 on our side and 5 on their side, although the points are of course spread. It's total destruction and it's 1 hour long. Now, or it could be 1 hour long, we'll see how long it takes. Now I am playing with Ferdinand and Silver Raptor, both of our subscribers to my channel. I've known Ferdinand a long time, he's a really good player. Silver Raptor, he's only had the game a very short period of time. He hasn't played Airland Battle or European Escalation before, and he has to play with me, and I thought, oh, it'd be quite good. And I played a couple of games with him yesterday, or the day before this video, and we had a couple of really close games on Conquest which we just unfortunately lost, but they were quite good fun, although we ended up in a bit of a stalemate as some of those Conquest maps do. But today we're going to have a go at Total Destruction and try to get him his first multiplayer win. This is only his third multiplayer game, so it's a bit of a baptism of fire for him. Now I'm playing the Commonwealth deck today. Now I was a bit late getting started. Now the reason I'm late getting started was because this player left and we are really heavy over on the right hand side, and I thought, well, shall I change over to the left, because we've only actually got a couple of players, Herb, and in fact it's just Herb and Organic, who hasn't got hardly any units out on the left. So I was thinking, shall I swap over? And then as I was thinking about swapping over, the game actually started, so I've got pretty much no units out. But my plan is to bring up tanks and things over into this open area and try and do a little bit of a tank push with some anti-air units in support and some other stuff in support as well. Now Silver Raptor, he is playing the American deck, and you see he's sending up a bit of an airborne, some airborne units up to Charlie. I imagine to drop off, and he's going to take his CV up to Charlie as well. I'm leaving my CV back in Bravo. And then Ferdinand, who is a really good player, and he's going to actually be heading over to take Alpha, but he's going to be trying to do an airborne attack on Lima at the same time. So we are quite heavy over this side and quite light-ish over on the left side. And I thought that might be a problem. They might swamp us over on the left, although we might swamp them over on the right. However, if we have a quick look at the overall view before we just start this game, so if I just go to neutral very quickly and then pause it, you'll actually see that they actually only have one player over this side, Surgical 5, and they actually have all the rest of their players over this side, where we have the majority of our players as well. So you can see what's going to happen. We're going to really clash over on our side of the map. So let's get this game underway and we'll see what happens, and we'll set it over to my view as well. So off we go. So I'll just speed up a little bit just to get the game going till we see some red markers coming up, and then I'll slow it back down because there was a lot of action at the start of this game. So Silver has moved his units up. They've already taken Delta, and he's just unloading his units in and around the buildings here. I've managed to bring up one Challenger, and I'm bringing out some ADATs as well. Now up here on the right hand side, now Third has spotted all these units, so he just micros his units over to the right slightly so that he doesn't come in too much range, and then his Celtics attack these choppers over here. He's got to be really careful with his CV chopper, which he is slowing down and just pulling it over to the side. And his other units, he's sort of split off from his Celtics, so these are quite safe moving over here without getting shot down by their anti-air, hopefully. And he's doing a good job of keeping these units stunned over here while he gets his units over here. I'm not sure what's in these links, probably SAS or something, and just microing his, being very careful hopefully with his command infantry here. So they've got a lot of infantry. Normally in this game the enemy doesn't send that many infantry over here. It's not an area that's normally challenged too much, whereas in this game, really unusually, Ferdinand has tried to take advantage of the people not sending units over there by sending his whole force over there, and they've actually landed a whole load of units in there, and they've actually got their Strellas out now, which will be able to attack his choppers. But as I said, he's got 8 SAS squads here now, so these are going to be able to do some nice damage and hopefully take over these buildings when they get over there. They're very fast moving as well, and he gets his lynxes out of the way. And Silver Raptor has also sent up a couple of his empty choppers over for a little bit of support. Now they can't do a lot because I think they've only got, well actually they've got miniguns, so they could do a little bit of damage. But what they do is distract Colonel's Su-27PU that thinks these are full of infantry, and it brings out these and actually attacks these empty choppers, which does us a little bit of a favour by distracting all these fighters and things. Now in the meantime, over on Delta, I don't know whether you noticed, but there were a couple of big ATGM Russian tanks on the prowl, and there they are. So we'll soon see what they are. So we've got a couple of T-64Bs with their ATGMs, these big Cobra things that can do really good damage to tanks, and they've also, I believe, got a couple of T-80s, T-80Bs in fact, which again with these Cobra guided Saklos ATGMs as well. So my idea of doing a tank push, it's still there. I've got a couple of challengers and a couple of ADATs. Now these ADATs outrange these T-64s and the T-80s, but these ADATs of course very lightly armoured, as you can see with 1111, so they could easily be picked off if he moved these forward, which he doesn't, and managed to get one of their tanks. Now before I can really do a good tank push, I need probably 1 or 2 more challengers, and I need to get rid of these tanks with the anti-tank weapons as well. Now I do push my challenger forward. Meanwhile on the right there's Ashakul is sending his fighters over, and the tornadoes of Ferdinand respond to those nicely, and Ferdinand's also got his SAS nicely in control over there now. So I do start to push forward my challengers, and Silver Raptor's got all his units unloaded in the buildings and has taken nice control there. So I've got somewhere to fall back to if I can't keep my push going. Now I do, like I say, I do have to be careful here, and when my challenger takes a couple of hits, it can take a couple, you can see it's taken a couple of ATGM hits right to the face there, and doesn't do it too much damage. That's how strong these challengers are, and I'll bring a couple more ADATs forward. Now what they do have is a shitload of artillery, as I start to find out, and they start attacking my attempted forward thrust. Now these ADATs, as I say, aren't that well armoured, so they do take a bit of a pounding even from this rocket type of artillery. Now I'll bring in a logistics truck as well, just to try and pep things up a little bit before I try to push these forward again. In the meantime, Kill actually and Ferdinand have taken nice control of Lima. On the left, they are only up against 1 player, I believe, although I haven't been taking too much notice, and they're making steady progress. They've even got some Panzer Grenadiers unloaded from these Marders, actually managed to get them over the river as well, heading up towards India. Now the ADATs are doing a great job here, although they are being attacked heavily by this artillery, and you can see the artillery is targeting these ADATs when he gets a good view of them. I brought up a ferret as well, and Silver Raptor has brought up this ATGM chopper with some really nice Hellfire missiles, and he's going to have a go at these tanks, and hopefully we'll be able to tank them out, and manages to take one out there, and has a shot at the other one while this MiG-27 comes in to attack this chopper, and he immediately, actually pulls it back, and it manages to survive, takes a couple of hit points but manages to survive, and that MiG-27 carries on and gets taken out by Ferdinand's Tornado F3. Very nice teamwork there. So I've still got a couple of challenges here now, so I just start to sort of edge them forward to see what's left. I know a lot of their tanks have been taken out. I've got my ferret here, which is providing recon, and there we spot some anti-air. There's a recon chopper there. I'll spot that recon chopper, and hopefully one of my ADATs will be able to take that out. And these guys over on the top right still continue to try to just hassle a little bit, although it's quite a long way over there to get reinforcements too. Silver Raptor takes his chopper back for repair at the fob and tries to bring out some anti-air in the form of Avengers. And on the left, these Panzer Grenadiers are going, it looks like they're going CV hunting, although they have got a little bit of trouble here in the forest with some Commandoses and other units, although they've got that, looks like they've got that fairly well closed off. Now in the meantime, I've really need a little bit more AA. I've got a couple of challengers. I've got another challenger coming in. I've still got my ferret. I've got one ADAT, which isn't really enough to do a good tank push. And they've still got one tank with an 80 GM, but my ADAT has a go at that tank and might take it out with this shot. Ooh, well, so yes, it took it out. Nice 80 points there. And then has a go at the Birausa as well. And I just micro my ADAT back. I don't want that to get artilleried and destroyed, but I do keep my challenger going forward a little bit, and then just, as there's no artillery coming, I just put my ADATs forward again a little bit. And there's a Fabeo coming in, although the ADAT I think is actually firing at the MI2 and takes it out. So the Avengers have arrived from Silver Raptor. Ferdinand's just resupplying some of his troops. It looks like they've had the bit of a battle up here. Don't seem to have that many units, although the SAS are still in a nice defensive position over up at Lima. Everything else seems pretty calm. So I just edge forward my challenger again and my ferret to try and see what's going on. Now they have brought in these Sturms, and of course these Sturms really good anti-tank weapons, and always be aware of these from the Russians when you're trying to do a tank push. If they bring these guys in, they're not too expensive at 50, they're not brilliantly armoured, but they have a range of 2,800 and a nice AP power of 20 and actually has 55, so they can do a lot of damage. However, I managed to take one of them out. I'm not sure if it was the ferret that did that or the challenger 2. Now I've managed to bring up another ADATS, and I'm just resupplying this ADATS as well. And these ADATS are fantastic weapons. It's just a shame their armour isn't as good, isn't very good, but you can't have everything. And they continue to artillery the position which is actually in front of my units now. So I just try and push my ferret forward a little bit just to see what's going on. Now clearly they still think my units are here, so they haven't got eyes on my units. Because they're just firing most of their artillery in front of where I actually am. Now I'm not sure why Silver Raptor pulled his TACOM command unit back there. Maybe he thought the artillery was going for him, I'm not sure. But I can see they've got a couple more recon, so they are trying to get recon on me, but another one of their recon choppers gets taken down. And they're also trying to just do a little bit of a push over onto Lima. They've got some reinforcements up there from Kilo and Kill and Ferdinand, but still got these 8 SAS units in there doing a fantastic job. Now they start to artillery my positions and also the positions in the town, which is now why Silver Raptor just pulls some of his units out so they don't get killed by the artillery fire. Over on this side, these Panzer Grenadiers still hunting for that CV. Looks like they've got nice control over on the left side, just this side of the river as well. So I bring up another ferret on this side to try and get recon on this side. They've still got a Sturm there, which is holding me back a little bit, and I bring in these ATGM squads to try and deal with this Sturm. These are infantry squads, and these Sturms have no real anti-infantry weapons. They've only got the anti-armor, anti-tank weapon. So once that Sturm's gone, and another one they're bringing in as well, then I can start my tank push forward yet again. So it all goes quiet just for a little bit over on my area while we're just waiting for my Milans just to get forward far enough to take out these Sturms. Now the Sturms do attack the Avenger of Silver Raptor, which is a little bit in the open here, which he just leaves in the open there a little bit, but does pull it back when he sees it's being attacked. I bring in a cargo just to resupply this supply truck. Nice control still over on the right hand side. So getting control of Echo as well now. These Panzer Grenadiers, I'm not sure where they're going now. I haven't managed to find the CV in India as yet. My Milan finally gets into range of these Sturms, and the ADATs are having a go at the recon chopper as well. The recon chopper goes down, and hopefully the Sturms will soon take a bow and leave the arena. There goes one, 50 points. We'll just push that forward, and I actually start to push my challengers forward now. There's only one Sturm left that we can see. There's yet another MI2 trying to get a view of my units. I pushed this ferret forward as well. So I've got a couple of adats now. I've got these Milans. So I've got these challengers, two or three challengers, and a nice amount of support around them in case of anything else appears. Now there's another Sturm coming in, but this isn't any real danger because with adats and Milans and two challengers, that Sturm on its own isn't going to worry me too much. Now I can see the Cub now, and when you see that their frontline units are actually anti-air units, you know that it's time to charge because they've got nothing left there. So the CV is soon hopefully going to be exposed to me, and I keep my challengers moving forwards now, and the ferret as well to try and spot for them, and the adats do as good a job as they can, bringing up hopefully I should be just leaving these just behind the challengers so they can use their range against any choppers that come in. Now Silver Raptor brings in his Raven just to do a bit of a sortie to try and take out any of the bucks or other radar type anti-air that's floating around. CV goes down, and I continue to push forward because clearly they haven't got much of a defense here right at this moment. My biggest problem is adats running out of ammo, which they've just done, so I've now got no anti-air defense, which is the problem. The Raven comes a bit closer for another sweep and manages to take out one of the anti-air units, and then a Nighthawk from Silver Raptor as well, coming in on a bombing run, and drops its bomb just there where those anti-air units were, I believe. I'm not sure if that got a kill or not, but they're still pounding away with their artillery. But what I want to do is get close enough to destroy that artillery. However, they do bring in an Mi-24W, which is in fact a real danger to my challengers, and unfortunately my adats are pretty much out of ammo, and I've got one more adats back here. It's got 3 shots in it, so I can continue pushing forward as long as I've got some ammunition to take out the choppers. As soon as they're gone, I'm going to have to pull back, and then Su-24M comes in. And they actually spam a few T-34s, which aren't going to do a lot of damage to my challengers. However, what will do damage are these choppers, and I've got to just keep my challengers within range of my anti-air so their choppers can't attack my challengers. So I just bring my challengers back a little bit. I bring forward the Lynx AH-7. I know Silver Raptors managed to do away with most of their anti-air now, so I can safely bring this Lynx AH-7 forward a little bit. And Silver Raptor's bringing forward his chopper as well with its Hellfire missiles, and he's also bringing in Humvee CV probably for Delta. So my Lynx AH-7's done its job. It's used all its ammo up. Now I am having to bring these back because I haven't got any anti-air cover now. My adats are completely out, so I'm having to basically withdraw my tanks, so that this Mi-2 here and this T-880 as well can't take them out. Now I've got another adats back here which I start to bring forward, so once that's up here I can just go forward a little bit with the challengers that aren't too damaged. I've got another challenger down here which I need to move up. Now Silver Raptor brings up his Humvee command vehicle. He's got to be really careful. He's getting very close to their tanks and their choppers. So he just brings it right back into this corner, and I stop my challengers and bring up my adats just to try to offer him a little bit of protection. It's quite risky putting that there. He has got an Avenger anti-air unit here as well. And he brings, and in fact this is Herb, brings in a Kahu. These are quite nice, should be able to take a shot at that T-80, and in fact takes the T-80 out. Very nice indeed. The artillery keeps coming in, but I've got my couple of this ADATs now. I can just push forward and have a go at this chopper, and also have a go at this Sturm as well. Sturm's going to take out my Grizzly, which I've completely ignored. Poor Grizzly. Bring up some Falcons, just for a bit more anti-chopper support. They're not the best things in the world, but they're quite cheap, and they're quite abundant, and they have got quite a nice range against choppers. If we have a quick look, got a range of 2625 against choppers, and they fire really fast, can certainly stun if not destroy any choppers. Not too brilliant against planes though. But I've got these ADATs just moving forward, trying to, and they are actually having to micro their Mi-24 back. Gives me a chance to bring in this cargo just to resupply my challengers and my other ADATs, and I'm bringing in 2 more cargoes to complete this refill job, and then I'll be able to push all these forward. I have got a couple of challengers which are pretty well healthed up, so I'm just going to take them forward and use these ADATs as as my air support as well. Silver Raptor's sending his F-16 over to the other side now to support Ferdinand by the looks of it. Giving him a little bit of anti-air cover. There is a unit coming in here. They're going to do battle. I'm not sure who's going to win this one. In fact, they both hit each other pretty much at the same time. The Su-27 gets stunned and the block gets evac. So neither one won that battle. There's a couple of tornadoes following up on the Su, but they both get out, so honours even on that one, I think. Not sure if we just took that Sturm out. We've lost eyes now because I think I've lost my recon over there, but they've got another ferret coming up, and these cargoes are resupplying these ADATs, so I'll be able to move these ADATs forward. The Challengers are moving forward. This one's nearly run out of fuel. There's a sneaky recon there, which Organic takes out with his Tiger. And I'm bringing up some more supply. I don't want these Challengers to run out. We're going to push right into their base now. I don't want to run out of units. Now there is a unit in these trees here which is a danger to my ADATs, but luckily I spot it and bring this Challenger back just to destroy that unit. There's the Su-22 coming in as well to bomb my Challengers. I'm not sure if it even got its bombs off, but it's certainly evac. I didn't see it drop its bombs. So the ADATs are now coming forward. There's a Corsair from Silver Raptor. I think he's seen these units, so he's going to bomb these trees probably with his napalm. Yeah. So I imagine that's the end of those units in the trees there. I think the Corsair gets out. So the Challengers go forward with the Falcons, acting as a bit of support, and they've got all these T-34s still hanging around. These T-34s pretty ineffective, certainly against a Challenger, only 10 points each. They're not going to hold a Challenger push, especially with ADATs backing them up. They need much heavier tanks, although they probably haven't got the points to get them at this stage. They have actually lost their base over in India as well. And the SAS now, those ones have been there since the start of the game from Ferdinand, now taking themselves over the mountains towards the base at Kilo to support my push here. Try to get my Milans forward, bring all my logistics forward, just trying to keep these just edging forward as best I can without getting destroyed. I haven't got a lot of challenges. I've still only got 2 here now, so you know, if you lose those, you come to a stop. So I want to try and keep them alive, but keep moving forward gradually if I can. The Ravens from Silver Raptor still flying around, providing a little bit of. In fact, it's flying around not even getting shot at, showing they haven't really got any anti-air out there at all anymore. A couple more Sturms coming in. I certainly like their Sturms and their T-34s. These Falcons seem to have taken to the water, which is okay. They can still fire from there. Are they coming back up on the land again? This Challenger nearly out of ammo. Hopefully it can get to this fob and resupply itself. They don't seem to have a lot of resistance left. Got these SAS from Ferdinand coming hopefully over the hill towards their base. Falcon getting resupplied briefly, bringing the ADATs up. They've got all they seem to have some Strelas, some weak kind of armor or anti-tank, whatever or tanks, whatever they are. Very weak unit, quite weak units. There's one of the CVs. The ADAT takes a shot at that, takes that out. That's not the final CV, so there must be another one. Perhaps it's over in this corner. And Ferdinand moves his 2 SAS battalions over into that corner just to have a look. We've got more Sturms coming in, and I've got my ADATs firing at those Sturms as they appear. They're both firing at each other, but the ADATs have got the shots off first and managed to take out one of those Sturms. So this SAS are moving into this corner. I'm not sure if the CV is actually there. They can't seem to be able to see it, so I'm not sure where it is. It's got to be over somewhere over here, or perhaps in this tree line hidden. Challengers still going forward with the ADATs and the Falcons. The SAS have cleared this forest now, so the CV is not in that forest. Silver Raptor's coming up here with his Super Dragon. Kill's coming across with his Akiwa, and there's the last CV. So this Challenger or somebody should take a shot at it very soon. Challenger surely will take a shot at that and takes it out, and that's it. GG. So a nice game. Got Silver Raptor his first multiplayer win, and it's only his 3rd multiplayer game, so that's pretty damned impressive. Some decent scores all round. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do comment, like and subscribe, and maybe we can get together and have a game with some of the newer subscribers, and I'll see you in the next video.